So do you remember when we achieved financial independence and we quit our jobs? That was such an exciting moment for us, but it definitely begged us to ask some very serious questions before we walked in our boss's office and said, "You know what you can do with this job?"
What can you do with this?
Okay, so on today's video, we're going to talk about the 8 questions that we asked ourselves before we quit our jobs, before we retired early. Hey guys, Zaman
and Christina
from Our Rich Journey. So you have achieved financial independence and you are ready for the retired early portion. On today's video, we are going to be talking about the 8 questions that you should be asking yourself before you quit your job.
So reaching financial independence is a huge milestone, but retiring early is more than just quitting your job. It's a lifestyle shift that comes with big financial and emotional changes. So answering these questions will not only make sure that you are ready to retire, but that you're also ready to thrive in retirement. So the first question is, have you devised a drawdown strategy? So if you are living off of your stock portfolio in early retirement, you have to understand how you're going to be withdrawing from your portfolio to pay for your expenses in retirement. You need to know the accounts that you're going to be drawing from, the order that you're going to be drawing from these accounts, and how you're going to sell off your investments to pay for those expenses in retirement.
Because there is a strategy. If you are not utilizing the right accounts in the right order, you could be paying more in fees or in taxes. So having a strategy that works best for you is so important. The other thing is you need to calculate what percentage of your portfolios you will be drawing down. Will you be using the standard 4%, or will you be using a higher percentage, or will you be more conservative? These are all things that you should understand before you quit your job. The next question you should be asking yourself is, have you stress tested your finances? Even if you've reached your FIRE number, you still need to stress test your finances. Are you prepared for market downturns, inflation, or unexpected expenses?
So this means creating a realistic retirement budget that can last. Now, we're going to leave some resources down in the description below that will help you run through different scenarios with your budget, but this is something you should definitely have a plan for before you actually retire.
The next question you must ask yourself is, what are you going to do with all of that free time? When we took those 40 hours back, we certainly had a plan in place. I mean, when we were sitting in our cubicles, looking out the window on beautiful days, we couldn't wait to break free because there were so many things that we were running to that we could finally have the time to do with those 40 hours back. So what will you do with all of that free time?
So this is really important because you don't want to hit this huge milestone of reaching FIRE and then not having anything to do where you're feeling almost bored or unfulfilled with your FIRE lifestyle. So just take some time to think about your life in FIRE and make sure you have a plan for that.
The next question is, have you accounted for health care costs? This is probably one of the hardest expenses to get a good understanding for, especially if you are living in the US. How much will healthcare cost you over the rest of your life? So this might mean budgeting for private health insurance, joining a healthcare sharing, or exploring options through the ACA marketplace, or maybe moving abroad, or doing travel health tourism. You must take this into account and just try your best. Now, there is something that I do want to say about healthcare, because healthcare is probably one of the #1 reasons why people choose not to retire early. They are afraid of losing their healthcare. But really, with any of these benefits that you have at your work, you are paying for those benefits through your check, through your time, through all of these other things. So it's important that when you leave your job, you recreate those same things. If you are currently getting health insurance from your job, maybe you take that into account and calculate how much you would pay if you were paying it yourself. But don't let healthcare keep you at work, because it could be the thing that actually diminishes your health. Oh, the irony of that is crazy. You stay at work for healthcare, but you end up getting sick because you're stressed, you're overworked. Just please do the research and find a solution to this.
The next question to think about is, have you adjusted your investment strategy, or do you need to adjust your investment strategy? As you get closer to retirement, your investment strategy may change. Maybe you want to become more conservative and invest more in bonds versus equities. These are things that you need to think of. And as you get closer to that retirement date, develop that plan, that investment strategy that aligns more with possibly a new risk tolerance that you're taking on in retirement.
Now, if you guys want to learn more about investing in the stock market to achieve financial independence and also how to live in early retirement off of your investments, check out our 365 Days to FIRE course. In our year-long program, we talk about how to achieve financial independence, but also what to do in financial independence. We talk about investing in real estate, investing in the stock market, estate planning, side hustles, so many different things that you will need in order to achieve, but also stay in early retirement. If you are interested in learning more about the 365 Days to FIRE program, go to 365daystofire.com or check out the link in the description below. The next question is, are you leaving on good terms? Now, I'm not saying you have to leave on good terms, but you should ask that question of yourself. Are you going to go out in a blaze of glory, or are you going to go out with hugs and kisses? The choice is up to you, and it all depends on your situation. But if you are financially independent and you got that FU money, you do what you want to do.
But also think of consequences. So you can do whatever you want, but think of those consequences. If you want to maintain your professional relationships, your networking, your mentorships, then maybe leaving on good terms is the better option for you. But whatever you do, you are going to have consequences related to that. So think about that before you retire. The next question to ask yourself is, how will you handle your identity and purpose? A lot of people feel so tied to their job that it becomes part of their identity. It becomes part of their purpose. And so when you take that away, how are you going to identify and how are you going to serve your purpose in life? So that's something to think about.
So when you retire, there is certainly an emotional shift when you are not working. Finding that purpose to wake up every single day is very, very important. I mean, you could sleep all day if you wanted to, but eventually you have to get out of bed and do something with your time. And what you do with it all depends on the identity that you want to have when you retire early. Do you want to be one of those retirees that is known for lounging on the beach, or one of those retirees that is volunteering, that has hobbies, that does all of these things where they're able to measure their progress and say, I've achieved something today?
And the last thing to ask yourself is, have you built a social system? Again, when you're in your 9-to-5 job, you're surrounded by so many people, you have those different connections. And when you no longer have that, you have to really rely on an outside support system. So have you built that up with your family, with your friends? Are you joining clubs? Are you staying active? This is something that you really want to maintain once you retire, because it can be really important for your emotional growth as well.
Because the reality is, when you quit your job, your friends are more than likely still going to be going to theirs. And what you may find is that you develop a new set of friends, other early retirees, maybe entrepreneurs, people that have a little bit more freedom. So reaching financial independence is an amazing feat. And retiring early, oh, that's the icing on the cake. So just make sure that you answer all of these questions and that you move into your early retirement with confidence, because maybe you never want to go back. And if you've liked this video, we would love to hear from you in the comments below about how you're going to spend your time in early retirement. And as usual, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and join the journey.